before we start, I'd like to say music featured in this episode is from BRNN, Subincog, and myself. Yeah, so away we go. Anyways, welcome to Spill Shack episode 2.
Oh, you're
Spill
recording.
Shack more like Susan P's and Larry's lasagna, so he, you know what, I'm just gonna restart that.
What? I'm going to talk about important things, like why...
Listen here, Jack.
To legalize... Oh.
Let's get into Spill Shack. Back in my day, when we were fighting the Vietnam War, we put all the spillage, including like blood, spit, or if even a milkshake or a soda pop, spilled. We all just put it in a shack and kept it in there, and that's why I was friends with segregationists in the '60s. Where am I? Who are you? That was a Joe Biden guest appearance on the episode.
Oh my God.
Welcome to episode 2 of Spill Shack. I'm your host, Zach, along with my other host that's hosting it up in the host zone, Sam.
I'm in the host zone. I'm stuck. Please help me.
Well, you're stuck here. I left you here in show world over a week, but in the real world, probably a month. Because that's how long it took the whole fucking episode to come out, over a fucking month. Because I hate editing shit so much that I kind of just wanted to, stuck a needle in my ear and just pop it, so someone else could do it.
Oh.
Off to a great start already, I could tell. Anyways, yeah, it took me a while to come out with this one. Last one recorded was late March, I think. March 20th, so a month before 420, which means we missed the 420 special, which makes me a bit sad, if you ask me.
Dang,
yeah,
that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, rest in peace to the 420 special, where we just talk about not doing the weeds.
Yeah, where we talk about how we're not smoking illicit substances. There's always next year.
Yeah, there's always next year. Hopefully everything gets legalized. But who knows? Because depending on... It could be both of them, honestly. They could just fucking make it all legal again. So our first topic on the docket is my obsession with how it's made.
Yeah?
We have no shit to talk about. We planned this over the course of 3 minutes, before we got in. At least with the other show.
Just like the last episode, actually.
At least with the other episode, I could fucking stew a bit about my thoughts.
Yeah.
We planned it 2 hours before, at least. This, I have nothing until I got into the call. Sam has something to promote his own shit. Which, to be fair, we're on the same channel, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but
no.
That's all we had. So how it's made. That's something I've been binging quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like such a weird thing for you to be binging.
It's soothing. I used to have this memory. Well, I still have this memory. When I was in middle school or elementary school, anytime I got back home, I would either be watching Discovery Channel or Science Channel, whatever fucking channel that does educational shit at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would just get back home after school and just tune it on to how it's made, and I was just watching it for 2 hours every day after school, and then I stopped once I don't know, 8th grade maybe, just because I kind of went home and just did home things, play my games and shit like that.
I don't like how you said that at all.
Wait, you don't like how I said games?
So you watch How It's Made?
Yeah, I just been watching that a lot during the whole COVID shit, just because it's like fucking neat, and a lot of it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if it's not on YouTube, it's on Hulu, and usually that's like the new shit, like how you make a Grammy, or that's basically the only thing I remember from the YouTube stuff. I mean, the Hulu
Wait, is
stuff.
it like how you make a Grammy, like the actual like
Award, like how they mold it
Okay.
and all that shit. It's kind of neat.
Okay, I was thinking like how do you make a Grammy movie, and I was just like easy. It's pay the Grammys. I don't the Grammys
Well, first
Foundation
of
or
all,
whatever it
Sam,
is.
Grammys made is the music awards, not the movie awards.
I don't know.
And while I do believe there's like a whole payola shit going on with the Grammys, right? I
Yeah.
wouldn't believe that if like every once in a while the indie artist no one gives two fucks about wins, like Arcade Fire or Nora Jones or some shit.
That is actually correct, isn't it? Arcade Fire did win one year, didn't they?
Yeah, like I would say like the Grammys were like rigged if that wasn't like the case half the time. Or like if it was rigged, Nora Jones or Arcade Fire, Mumford and Sons wouldn't be taking home awards.
Mumford and Sons won a Grammy.
Yeah, I think
really?
they won for Babel or something like that for best album.
All right, so here we go. Yeah, they won Album of the Year for the Suburbs album.
Yeah. Speaking of suburbs, I learned out how they made mirrors and how it's made, which I know most suburbs have mirrors in their homes.
Don't most homes have mirrors?
Yeah,
in
the
them?
mirrors one is pretty neat. Like, imagine if it wasn't so fucking dangerous because it's a mirror factory. If it shatters, I don't think that's gonna be a fun day at work. It might be like, damn, I hurt my gaming hand or some shit, and then you lost the esports tournament.
But if it weren't so dangerous, you would you'd go to a mirror factory.
Yeah, I'll go to a mirror factory and probably enjoy working at it because like looking at all that shit coming in is like whoa.
What's you're gonna laugh at me for saying this, but I back in high school, I was supposed to read a number of scientific articles involving my career for like a career development class that I took for some reason. And one of those articles was about mirror making. Actually, it was about mirror making and the amount of silver poisoning in that's involved in mirror making.
Okay, well maybe I don't want to work at a mirror factory anymore.
Yeah, the fumes are bad for you. They'll give you some sort of I don't really remember.
But Sam, like, if I'm happy doing it, does it matter?
I mean, sure. I guess like if you enjoy it, that's a cool short life that you got going there. But as long as you're enjoying it for
doing
that
what you
amount of
loved,
time.
looking at mirrors while working at the factory.
I wonder if everyone that works in a mirror factory is like, this is so mean. It's like a narcissist because they just always look at themselves in the mirror all day, or maybe they just get tired of looking at their own face.
Oh, I just liked it, like doing the weird illusions it makes by accident, by like coming out of the water and all that shit. Like when they're that. I'll probably avoid looking at myself. I'll probably just like wear some type of mask the whole time I work on the mirrors and shit. Like I don't know what I would do at the mirror factory. I'll probably be the guy who goes like, "Yep, that's a mirror," and then like,
"Yep, it sure reflects, doesn't it?"
"Yep, I'm gonna do the reflection test. Hold on. Okay, I can look at myself. Cool. All right, let's go."
That's about as useful as the ideas guy.
Yeah, yeah. At least the ideas guy is like bringing something to the table. The reflection guy is just like making sure something that anyone can tell if it works or not works. Like you could like take like a fucking random dude off the street and go like, "Hey, does this mirror work?" And it's like, "I don't know, mister. You tell me."
I'm blind.
Like, okay, can you like, I don't know, like look at it with your like heart, and can you see your heart in there? Like, yeah, sure, okay, I can see my heart in there. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's how
the mirror factory works.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that you watch At least it's something like how it's made, because like I used to come home from college all the time, and I'd go into my friend's dorm, and with my friends and I, we all study, but we'd always have what's that show called, that with the donkey sauce man?
The donkey sauce man.
Yeah, diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh, that guy, Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, yeah. We watched so much that I started to sweat. Like it gets pretty bad after watching like more than 20 minutes.
I watched of one quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun, like watching him get excited over like the most simple shit. Like, damn, you're yeasting it up. I'm like, yeah, that's what we do here, guy.
Yeah, to be fair though, you do the same exact thing.
I know, but also I'm not a professional chef guy or whatever, food guy, who should know all this shit. Like, that's like if I went to my job, right, as a guy who laminates books or shelves them, right, and goes like, wow, this book is pretty thick.
Wow, the way that you alphabetize those books. Ooh.
Whoa, that's a lot of books on that shelf I walk by every day.
Smell those books.
That's Guy Fieri. Like, he's like, damn, food smells good. Like, yeah, fucking does.
Literary Guy Fieri.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm disrespecting the man with frosted tips for his hair. Well, well, there goes our Guy Fieri guest spot.
Oh no! I was really hoping that Guy Fieri would come onto our podcast with two people that listen to it.
I think he'll come to anything, to be honest with you. Like, as long as you say like Guy Fieri's name, he's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah. And what is he doing these days?
Probably losing his tan. I don't know. Like, I doubt he's doing anything. Like, he's like a fucking restaurant dude or whatever. Like,
does he own a restaurant? Oh wait, no, he owns the donkey sauce franchise.
He owns that,
which is something.
And his whole job is basically going to restaurants, and as you can tell, none of them are open. So, like, it's kind of weird. Like, just imagine, what we need is like they let him in the kitchen while they're like doing like delivery shit or whatever, and it's like, and he's just in an empty restaurant.
Actually, okay, so I looked it up. He 7 hours ago, there's a news article, quote unquote, by someone named SF Gate. I don't know what that
San Francisco something Gate.
San Francisco Gate. Guy Fieri appears in new series highlighting local restaurants in small Bay Area towns.
See, there, he's being the local hero. There.
Why is Jim from The Office here?
Jim from The Office a CIA guy?
What?
Jim from the Jim from The Office. Hold on. Yes, he is the CIA guy. Did you not know that?
I did not know that Jim from The Office.
John Krasinski or whatever. Yeah, so
Krasinski?
When they were promoting that Jack Ryan show, he was like saying shit like, "Oh man, everyone should like love the CIA" and shit like that.
Oh, I thought you meant that he was actually part of the CIA.
He's an asset. I could tell you that. He's like literally spreading propaganda about him on like 13 Hours and Jack Ryan.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that. I thought you're up to date with your
with my Jack Krasinski data.
Yeah,
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about John Burke Krasinski, born on October 20th, 1997.
Oh, you know about that, and I doubt it was 1997.
Oops, sorry, 1979. I'm reading the Wikipedia article.
Back to how it's made.
Why are we talking about John Krasinski? Yeah, how it's made. It's cool. I watched one episode with bowling balls.
Yeah, the bowling. Oh my god, the bowling balls one. I love that one. Like seeing how they like just plastered all that shit on top of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Bubblegum is a fun one to watch if you're into that. Advice: look at if you're gonna look at how they make foods, only look at the candy or snack based shit. Anything else, not fun.
Yeah, didn't you tell me that the hot dog one was
hot dog one was
terrible?
pretty bad, and I'm wondering whoever like thought it was a good idea to let them tape in their hot dog factory, because it does not make them look good. Same with apple cider somehow. This looks like brown sludge shoved into like a watered down can.
That's what apple cider is.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to like even look at it. All right.
Is it like? Are we talking like? I think I probably asked you this before, but is this like apple cider as in like the alcoholic cider, or is this like apple cider as in like
the one for squares?
The one for squares.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's my how it's made spiel.
Like,
speaking of
children.
Things, what?
Children, they're squares. They don't drink alcohol.
Speaking of how it's made, how about you do a how it's made episode on the video you're making next?
All right. So my next video, the video that I'm making, I'm going to make is going to be about. That's stupid. The video I'm going to make, the thing that's in the works right now, is a video about the migration patterns of the American robin.
That's the video?
Yep.
Explain.
So, okay.
Explain.
So,
good sir, explain. You have the floor.
So I don't want to spoil it too much, but essentially, you know how, we live in the Midwest, or like the Midwest area, right?
Yes, good sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever it's around like, I don't know, like March, April-ish, even though it's still like an absolute blizzard outside because we live in the Midwest, there'll be like a robin, and then every like aunt or like everyone that I know, essentially, this is to me, it's stereotypically my aunt, but like not really. It's just like everyone. Oh, it's just like, oh, it's the first sign of spring. But I have to debunk this because it's not actually the first sign of spring, because I don't know if you know this, but robins don't migrate south for the winter. They stay in like the same area. It's just that they're more in wooded areas. And I'm making a video about this, but I will make it more entertaining than the way that I am explaining the video right now, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope you like add some cool like, transitions in between.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it so it's like some sort of quasi animation thing too. So it's not gonna just be my big stupid face like talking about birds.
You should get like Big Bird on it.
Big Bird?
Yeah, I think he's the easy guy to get now since COVID. Like he's probably out of the job.
Yeah, probably actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Get Big Bird.
Get Big Bird on. I'll plan on getting Big Bird on the on the video.
He's an expert about birds since he is a bird.
He is a bird. I was a bit. I gotta talk about something else real quick. This just came to mind.
Okay.
When we're talking about videos on the Spill Shack channel, so our most viewed video with 100 something
I checked. Yep.
views. Yeah, that's it's the Harmar Mall video, and I gotta say, like, what was it? It's been a year. After a year of having the nut, I look back on it and I'm like, I'm a little bit disappointed in it. It's a lot of me yammering at like a Wikipedia article, and really, I probably should have overlaid overlaid the video, overlaid my yammering on top of footage of us going through the actual mall. That probably would have been better. I could have also used some stabilization methods and some audio editing methods as well. And so I guess yeah. I'm going to. This is my official apology that about my performance within the last year. I promise to have quality standards as of 2020.
You're acting like a YouTuber who said a slur on the stream by apologizing.
Yeah,
and like
that's
you
what
know,
I'm going
and like
for.
it's not like you didn't really do anything wrong. You didn't like fucking do some weird scheme or some shit or say something offensive. You just kind of like made a video that it wasn't up to snuff. You didn't even do anything mean-spirited in the video besides lie to the guards about what we're doing while making it, which is fine because fuck them. But we never did like a call out against Mr. Harmar Mall. Like, you listen here, Harmar Mall. You and me in the corner. Let's fucking fight it. You know, like we just like said like, yeah, this place is going to like.
We didn't call them. We weren't like, listen here, Jack.
Yeah, listen here, Jack.
You have a bad mall and you should feel bad.
Yeah.
So I was thinking though, we live kind of near a mall-ish, and it's closing down, and they're turning into a retirement store.
Is it the one that starts with the letter B and ends with the letter L?
Well, I wasn't going to be specific, but yes.
Is it the one that used to be one of the biggest trafficking spots in the world?
Yeah. Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's a very terrible place.
I think it's better now, but holy shit, it was like on a couple lists.
Yeah, and also it always kind of smells weird. But no, it always kind of smelled like water-based mold or something. I don't know. Either way.
I think that's just part of the experience when you shop somewhere, Sam. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, if you're against water-based mold, I think you're just against basic American values, if you ask me.
You're against enjoying ice cream on a hot day, sitting in the nosebleeds at a baseball game. I was thinking maybe we could do like once the whole COVID thing is over, we can maybe do like a weekly, monthly update thing on the state of that place.
Yeah, one thing. Now you brought that up, but one thing I want to mention is that we recorded the podcast right after the COVID shit kicked into high gear, I think. Like, I want to say a week. And we had plans of doing videos, and I kind of realized it's hard to do videos if we can't see each other at all.
Yeah, so...
and that's why the Patreon thing is kind of on the fritz. It's like it's like put back in the shelf where all the Patreons go to when they fail, which is most of them.
It's on the shelf of many things that Zach and I have planned that we're not actually going to do.
Yeah, but maybe it's on the maybe part of the shelf.
Maybe,
which is a lot of them are crammed on the maybe part of the shelf. So yeah, it's put on the shelf until like things get better. Which means we have to start our OnlyFans, Sam, so we could like put proper content on there.
Perfect. I mean, I can only think like so for OnlyFans, we're really just trying to like find little stupid edits that we can make, right?
Weird shit. Sometimes it's mundane and just drop it on OnlyFans.
Perfect.
And
all right.
Like, maybe like we'll get like, I don't know, $1 from it because someone will just like one person will find it humorous enough to go like, huh. That's funny, and then they go back to jacking off with someone else or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, that'll. I can't wait to be
the palate cleanser in the middle of a session.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to be stuffed between two girls wearing cat ears. Yeah. So we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah, probably not. It's like on. How about we take a break within the show, and we'll be right back with the Jacks. We're all Jacks here.
We're all Jacks here.
Yeah. Jacking it up. Okay. Okay, I'm done.
Jacking off.
Sam, do I need to castrate you? I'll do it now.
No. You had all that time standing around in line with your hand in your pants. What you couldn't figure out what you wanted to eat in those 5 minutes that you're standing in line.
And that's why, my friend, we should replace the guillotine with the hydraulic press.
I think that's a bit of an overreaction, but I
think it's a mind-blowing alternative. I would say so myself.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of things that'll give you headaches that crush you in Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2. We're going to talk about the whole controversy around Last of Us 2. Now, I'm going to give you a peek behind the curtain here. Like in The Wizard of Oz. I think that's where the phrase originated from, right? Maybe. I don't know. So we record these in bits, right? And I looked back on the second one, and it was super rambly, somehow more than the first segment. And also, some information has been updated about The Last of Us 2. We might get a little spoilery here, just a teeny bit. If you don't want to hear that, I'll just give you a timestamp to skip to in the description. But yeah, let's just talk about what happened to that game.
All right, sounds good.
I
just wanted to also point out that before he told me about this, I knew nothing about any of this. So
yeah, so he's gonna act like he doesn't know about this shit again. Anyways,
all right.
So The Last of Us 2 leaked, kind of, as cutscenes and story moments. Supposedly it was from a developer or QA tester. And
wait, so it was cutscenes and stuff?
Cutscenes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like a transcript or a script of some sort.
It was a mixture of both-ish. I haven't looked too far into it. And when we were originally recording this, I went on a huge rant about treatment of game devs and QA testers. And how this was deserved, and I still believe that in a way, but whoever leaked it was not connected to the game company.
Yeah.
Anyways, Naughty Dog is still probably going to go out of business over this because most of their staff left, and people were staying there just there to complete their contract.
It's almost like as if when all the workers come out of a company, the whole thing falls apart because...
or if you just treat your employees like shit, usually it falls apart. You do have the examples like Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2, which are good games, but they're not worth the blood that was shed to make those games.
Yeah.
Not especially Red Dead Redemption 2. Some guy had to work 100-hour weeks just to make a horse shit realistically. Good job.
Yay!
Yeah, that's your achievement. Just to make a horse shit realistically and make me sit through a cutscene that I don't want to sit through just to get some shit cut up or something.
I'm very passionate about this.
I was even more passionate, but since we're redoing this, I'm not as crazy about it.
Right.
Anyways, treat your employees right, and if you don't, you deserve every single thing that's coming to you.
And if your employer isn't treating you right,
unionize. All game
unionize
devs
and strike.
All game devs should unionize. Unionize.
I think Epic Games. What was it? I think it was Epic Games that had a huge strike.
You're thinking Riot Games.
Spring.
Riot Games.
Yeah, Riot Games. That was it.
Workplace allegation. Anyways, the game leaked, and everyone's upset about the story. I don't know why you're surprised. Last of Us was already a game that was a shade better than a young adult novel originally. Like, it's already a shade above those stupid post-apocalyptic young adult novels that don't really say shit, really. Just gave vague reasons of why shit happens, like most video games do, because they don't really want to go too deep into it, and when they do, they'll just say it's not political, even though there's obvious political things going on. Tom Clancy games.
Call of Duty. I think the newest one, especially.
Oh, yeah, the newest Call of Duty. The one where makes an awful war crime the United States did and blames it on Russia.
Yeah, the Highway of Death.
And the multiplayer makes you do white phosphorus as a fun thing.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it makes you use white phosphorus as a fun little, like, gift thing.
What the hell?
You know, the thing that gives you shit for using in Spec Ops: The Line?
Yeah, because it's terrible.
Yeah, you know what's the problem with all video game storytelling is just, like, simple shit, and the only one that's, like, the best at telling it is either ones that breaks the meta of it quite a bit, or something that gives you shit for doing stuff you do in other games, like Spec Ops: The Line, where it calls you an awful human being for doing the acts you do in most video games. But yeah, the story leaked, and everyone's getting upset of how clunky it is. Like, which, you know, all Naughty Dog games have clunky ass stories that, if you call them movies, which they want to be movies, they wouldn't be good anyways.
They're just like they're maybe one step above like Telltale Games, if that.
Telltale isn't really that good either.
No, it's not.
Like, the only great story games are RPGs at best, and those are not the, like, you know, fun RPGs, the ones that you might as well read a book instead RPGs.
I like those.
Or the story, like, where the story is better than the gameplay, so you just kind of deal with the shit gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, partially. I can think of like a few games that like have like that don't really fit that description, but like have really good story to them. I can't really think of any like high budget AAA games like that.
I'm pretty sure. Here's the thing: I've said this a couple times to a couple people, and they severely disagreed with me.
Yeah.
And you know they're probably right, but when we're part of an art medium where even gamers don't respect their own art medium, like don't respect any critiques, then why should I look at it as a high class art medium?
I don't think anyone's arguing for it to be a high-class art medium.
Like, why should not even a high class, like, respect it like the other ones, I should say.
I mean,
it's something that was born out of corporations. Like, that's video games is the only medium that's born out of corporatization.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think, though, the thing is, though, is that if you focus on, like, really large AAA games, it's easy to really get into that mindset. But if you look at like small projects like indie games like, you know, Broken Reality I talked about, but like Block Hood, you know, Elle's Heartbreak, like these are just like a handful of games that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. You know, they're in my Steam library. And they have they have a compelling story to them, and you know I know they're made by like 7 people, but like but yeah, I think it's one of those things where, yeah, it was started by a bunch of like titanist corporations and, you know, somewhere, but like I think you can now more than ever, I think indie artists have really taken the scene, and especially with like things like Steam sometimes, but mostly Twitch.io, or not Twitch.io. What is it called? Itch.io.
Itch.io, yeah. But would you say, like, unlike other art mediums, that video games is a higher entry ticket?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it
like,
takes a lot more.
You need like a computer and some expensive software half the time.
Not only a computer, you need a good computer. You can't have,
and you also need to know how to code, which, you know, people like to brag that's an easy thing. It's not.
It's not. I'm learning Python right now, actually, because I'm doing something involving Raspberry Pi. Well, at least to me, I mean, I guess people have like different intelligence and different
Oh, let's just say people
perception on these things, but it's very hard for me to keep coding because it's very meticulous, and it's very finicky, and those are the two things. I have very low patience, so those two things I hate it.
I will say I do enjoy a lot of video games. I just have a problem with I don't know. It tries
the
scene, I guess, and everything surrounding it.
Right.
And it's a problem when all the best quote unquote storylines in video games are just either meta shit or it's based off a book, or it's just or just an RPG where you just have to read through a bunch of shit. And like I said, you might as well read a fucking book.
Or like there are ones where there's a story, but like it's not like mainly dialogue, but that's its focal point is the story. I recently played through Night in the Woods, and that's an amazing game. It has and the story is really good. It has really good political themes, even though it's incredibly ham-fisted. I can get invested in the characters, but really the only things but like the gameplay is like incredibly simple. I think the two things I would say about that game is that it has a really good story and it has a really good art style. But the gameplay is pretty flat, I'd say.
Yeah, like that's usually the balance where like it's either like a decent story and shit gameplay, which hopefully this decent story will carry it through, or really good gameplay and the story is just kind of there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like it's compelling enough to keep you chugging along, but it's still not decent. And if it is decent, the ending is gonna be garbage, probably like Deus Ex.
I know I've talked about Wolfenstein a lot, like the new saga, and I know you have your disagreements, but I think the story is okay. I mean, it's not the best, but I think if you look at it, it can be
The problem I have with it is just like it's kind of the reverse problem where it sacrifices the like neat gameplay of it for like some story shit that I'm like, I just want to shoot Nazis. I don't really care about what demons you're struggling with.
I mean,
that get paid off in a shit way.
Well, I think that kind of go that you're being slightly hypocritical with that, because I think when you said earlier that people video games have this weird thing where like there's like something bad happens, there's a dystopia or an apocalypse, but they don't really go into why that happened. But but Wolfenstein has kind of a not great, but a very well thought out reason of why that happened, why the Nazis took over, and but that doesn't resonate. I get what you're saying though. I think that the story itself is just kind of okay.
Like how
good enough.
Like how can you do that thing with this is gonna be a spoiler for Wolfenstein 2, I guess. Like you got the opening cutscene where you show his father being a piece of shit, right? And when you finally kill his father, he just falls down like a ragdoll.
Yeah,
and everyone else gets these like cool violent deaths, and the one person you should hate a lot just like drops like a doll.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was pretty disappointing.
Like, are you like you built up for that?
Yeah, that part was pretty disappointing. I'll agree with you on that. He just kind of like falls over.
Actually, I kind of went off track a bit.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Last of Us 2 storyline leaked, and people were upset about how it destroys these characters. And I'll give a full disclosure, I played the first 2 hours of Last of Us around the time it came out. I did not like it. The gameplay was like rough, and I did not really give two shits about what was going on in the game.
Characters are kind of flat.
I don't know. I heard a DLC expands on it, and probably the very end of it kind of like widens them a bit, maybe. But I'm sorry, I don't really care about a character that dies like in 2 minutes in the game. I have no reason to be invested with them.
You're supposed to be invested in his grief, Zach.
Fuck him. But people were upset for the wrong reasons about this one character named Abby, because she, to gamers at least, looks trans.
This is huge quotation marks around looks.
Yeah. What I mean looks is that she has arms that are big.
Muscly arms.
And her chest is flat, so they're upset they can't wank off to a character, basically.
Yeah, it's like, beyond everything else wrong with this, like, if you're in a post-apocalyptic situation, you're probably doing a lot of manual labor. Wouldn't you naturally just grow a lot of muscle?
Yeah.
That's besides the point, but, like, there's that.
And also, if you don't want to play a game because a character in it is supposedly trans,
it's like...
Just it's such a fucking dumb reason. You could like get upset at the other reasons where like it's clunkily implemented the way they bring the character in, because they kill off the two main characters in the game, which that's kind of fucking dumb and bold if you ask me.
Bold. I don't know about dumb, but it's definitely 100% bold.
And if that's the case, there's rumors that I think the character they're calling quote-unquote trans is played by a cis actor, and if that's the case, that's kind of bad. If you have your trans character being played by a cis actor.
Yeah. What would that be called? Would that be called cis washing? If it's
I don't know.
Whitewashing, but cis washing?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe erasure, trans erasure. I don't know. But here's the thing, no one knows that that character is trans. It's just some assumption made by fucking dudes that don't understand autonomy, really.
And thinks Heath Ledger and thinks that Heath Ledger's Joker is like something to aspire to.
Yeah. It's probably the same.
Take that out if you want to.
It's probably the same people who like Joker, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get any of the fucking class shit it talks about in it. They just think, like, yeah, fuck society, because they treat only men badly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anything else to say on this? Like, I think I got through all the things I wanted to.
I mean, like, it's just ridiculous, right? I mean...
Like, I'm
like,
sorry.
Someone has slightly toned arms. I like looked at the picture. She's not like bulking or anything. It's just
it shouldn't matter either way. Like,
yeah,
she looks buff. That's fine.
Yeah, and it's like someone has slightly bulky arms, and everyone in like every gamer TM is just like.
That's what they sound.
Just starts like breaking their $200 Razer keyboards over their knees and screaming and pissing themselves. It's just amazing. It really is.
Yeah. I'm sorry that your game that you think has a great story but doesn't. It's honestly always been a shit story. It's ruined for you.
It's like a young adult's novel, except it's like
a shade better. Yeah, I keep saying that. All these fucking dramatic games are the shades better than young adult novels.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Sam, you got one other thing on the docket before we go to our next break.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about my hobby,
which is
you guys ever hear of mail art?
Tell me about this unique world of mail art. I don't know anything about mail art. How about you tell the audience of at least 4 people about mail art?
At least? I think you mispronounced at most. So I think how do I explain this? So what you do is you make little pieces of art, and it has to be small enough to go in the mail without like or it can be huge, but you have to pay the shipping cost. And then so there's a website for this. International Union of Mail Artists, and you go on there and you sign up, and you make little pieces of art, and then you mail them to people, other people on the website, and it's over snail mail over the postal service, which might not be here by November, and
oh no,
and yeah, so the whole thing might just collapse. It's pretty cool. I've made a lot of. I do mostly collage work, and that's just a really fancy name for cutting stuff out of a magazine and slapping it on a what do you call those things? Postcard or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It used to be a huge thing. Well, it was a website, but it used to be a huge thing back in like the 50s and the 60s. It was a way for artists to circumvent the really the kind of bourgeoisie high class art, like high art kind of thing. It's for amateur artists to share art with each other without having to use the medium of like some like a gallery or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it has really cool roots, and it's been going forever. I think it died off once the internet.
Because you could share your shit on the internet, right? And then what's the point of mailing it to each other?
Exactly, because now you have interfaces like Instagram or Tumblr or DeviantArt where you could just upload the picture. But I think there's something to be said for having like a physical version of like a piece, and in knowing that there aren't any other copies of it, like there aren't even any like pictures or JPEGs of it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go onto my Instagram and I post my mail art, but
what websites or services do you use for mail art?
So a lot of people. So I personally use the International Union of Mail Artists. That's a website. I'd like link my page or something on in the podcast, but like that actually has like my actual home address on it.
Oh.
So I'm not gonna say it on podcast, but
you should probably replace that with a PO box even. Like.
Yeah, I might do that. I might open up a PO box.
Because even like podcasts or not, having your address up there is a little bit ballsy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know like how much it costs to. Does it cost anything to open a PO box?
It costs, but it's not much. It's like depending on how big you're making your PO box.
Right. I'll probably go ahead and open that. And,
what about you put a link to the website in general so they could just check out if they want to get into that mail art shebang.
Yeah. It's especially big in like Europe and the US. I don't know how many international listeners we have, but if you live in Cuba, I think there's like one guy who lives in Cuba. Might be a bit hard.
But yeah, that's your mail art journey. What type? So you just make collages, right? Anything else?
Right. Yeah. No, I think I used to do some photography, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to like print it out and stuff. So now it's just me doing collages. So
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's mostly collages, actually. I think most people on the site do collages or something similar. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Do we? I don't think so.
All right. We'll be right back after this break McRake.
Yeah. I'm going away to the break zone.
The break zone, yes. We'll have a guest on in like about a minute. So, have fun. Do you want to have fun, Sam?
I'm in the break zone. Can't hear you.
I can hear you still.
No.
Well, if you can't hear me, why are you responding to me, dude?
I'm in the break zone.
talk about.
Oh, hey, man, I have no beef with it. Anyways,
Anyways.
Part 3 of Spill Shack, episode 2.
Oh, you're starting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting, so you better stop clickety-clacketing, Jack.
I will close my game, all right?
Yeah, which game were you playing? That was so important.
Kill It With Fire, Ignition. I think it was something that came out today. It was it's a game about
Yes, it's a game.
finding spiders in your house and killing them with ridiculous weapons. It's cool.
Why are you anti-spider, Sam?
I'm actually pro spider. I actually love spiders, but
yet you consume anti-spider content.
It's a video game.
We are joined in this part of the show by Laurel. Say hi.
Hello.
That's Laurel. All right.
That is Laurel.
What do we have on the docket? Do we have anything else on the docket?
I could talk about the Vapor 95 concert.
The Vapor 95 concert. You went to a virtual concert, Sam.
Yep, I did. Let me see if I can find the... I should have done this before we started recording. Let me see if I can find the track list or the... What is it called? The...
As Sam's finding the concert schedule or whatever lineup, Laura, how was your day?
It's a pretty good day.
Uh-huh. Hold on. Fuck my earbud.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I kind of just did homework.
Did you take any of the fun Zoom classes where all those cool Zoom kids go to Zoom it up? In the Zoomverse?
Actually, on Thursdays, I don't have any Zoom classes.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I do.
I bet
I
Zoom was
had a
disappointed.
Zoom class today.
Oh, how was your Zoom class, Sam? Did someone say they like to be in your shirt or some shit like that?
Oh, God. Yeah, so, someone... Okay, so I was in a class this one time, and some people were just talking about nothing. We were just doing our thing, and all of a sudden, I have my video on, and I had to take the... Usually, I keep my headphones in my shirt, so I can... Everything stays in place so the wire doesn't catch on anything. But, I had to take it out because it was connected to my laptop instead of my... Thanks for that, Laurel. Connected to my laptop instead of my my phone or Walkman. So I took it out. From my in my shirt, and some girl typed in the chat something around the lines of "I'd like to be Sam's headphones," but the problem was that she tried to send it to someone else, but
she put it in the
sent
general
it
chat.
into public.
Yeah.
She put it in the general chat. And that wasn't fun for anyone.
I feel so bad for that girl.
I do too.
What about the professor? Did the professor notice anything? Did they just go
They went. Oh.
Anyways, I'm just gonna end class 20 minutes early today.
Yeah, all right. I gotta throw up real quick. No, she was crying and shit. It was. I feel bad for her. She didn't come to class.
Don't blame her. I wouldn't.
Luckily, the class that class became non-synchronous after that. But
to avoid other people fetishizing to be Sam's headphones.
Yeah, exactly.
Your headphones are so. It was so cool to be your headphones. I bet.
I guess it was just.
Good thing she isn't your headphones, because I'll just keep yanking her out the headphone jack.
Yep. Yeah.
And as a funny joke to piss you off.
Yep. You did. Yeah, I forgot that you did that all the time in high school. God. So yeah, the Vapor 95 stream. It was a stream today at this is 4 p.m. Eastern, but in Central Standard Time that's 3 p.m. So I got on. It was pretty cool. It was mostly people with their soundboard or whatever in their living room,
just kind of bopping. It's pretty cool. Let's see who was on there. We got first person who came on was Bloodwave. I think the number one thing that struck me about Bloodwave was how young he was. Bloodwave has had a pretty consistently good career in the vaporwave industry. He was responsible for releasing a few albums that have been pretty well known, and like they're albums that are kind of known to be like the like part of the vaporwave essentials list. It's so good. So we also have Vaporer. Vaporer, of course, being the vapor trap master. Weird to say that. Basically, he's one of the two people who I know to be very, like, really iconic vapor trap artists. It's him and Blank Banshee, obviously. But Vapor, he made like Mana Pool for an example. That's a huge thing. He came on. His set was okay. I don't really like his newer stuff, and his visuals were a bit much, but I think he was pretty cool. Kiss Me Nerdy Girl. Or no, I'm sorry. Neon Vectors came on after Vapor, and yeah, she was good. I mean, again, it's like I don't know anything about Neon Vectors, so I don't know.
You should, Sam. You're the vaporwave and gamer correspondent.
Kiss Me Nerdy Girl. Pad Channington had a set. I'm not a real fan of Pad Channington's music.
What does Pad Channington do? What's the type of music Pad Channington does?
Vaporwave.
Fucking. Of course he does fucking vaporwave. What type of vaporwave he does? What's the subgenre? What type? Like, why don't you like his music?
Shut up for a second. Pat Channington's music is future funk, and I'm not really a huge fan of future funk. It's just one of those things that I'm not.
Sam, you realize that both Zach and I, no idea what the hell you're talking about, but we're just being polite.
Yeah. Like, you can't just go like, oh, you know, like when you're talking about your magical genre that has like 100,000 subgenres. You can't go like, oh, you know, it's vaporwave. Like, what type of vaporwave?
I also don't know what future funk is. At least I don't. Zach, do you know?
I know what future funk is, yeah.
Okay.
Future funk is like, how do I describe future funk? It's kind of like vaporwave, but more disco-y. Would you say that, Zach? It's more of it also has a more of a 90s aesthetic.
Yeah. Have you listened to that song One More Time? Laurel?
Yes?
One More Time by Daft Punk?
Yeah.
That's future funk, technically.
Oh.
Before it was named as a genre.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of future funk to be personally, but I thought his set was okay as far as that goes. Telepath came on, and he was their influence, of course, is like, you know, unrivaled, and their set was really cool. They didn't show their face because I think that's part of Telepath's thing. They don't like giving away an identity, but they had really cool, like, kind of trippy visuals in the background, and it kind of looped between kaleidoscope visuals and videos of malls and like rainforests. It was really cool. It was nice. After that, I had to go, and I'm actually really sad about that because Windows 96 was right after Telepath, and I missed that.
How did it go? Like, it's a virtual show, so how did is it like neat visuals being played as people do DJ sets, or is it like?
Yeah, some of them. I think Bloodwave was like the very Bloodwave and Neon Vectors were very minimalist in their visuals, especially Bloodwave. I think the most visual was that Bloodwave had was he was drinking out of like a disposable Pepsi cup that could have been in a mall, especially Bloodwave. Both of them were dancing a lot. Vapor was too, but he went hard on the visuals. Yeah, there's a lot of like computer rendering visuals and a lot of lo-fi. What do you call it? Analog looking visuals as well. So that was
neato.
Yeah. That's yeah.
What we should do in the future is like, you know how those people go to festivals and do coverage of it and they act like they're there and shit and they judge the fashion of the festival, the food, the artists and events and all these side shit in the festival. We should just do that, but with virtual festivals.
We could. Okay, so I like could actually.
The next Minecraft festival, we should just fucking do that.
There's another Vaporwave concert happening on like the 3rd.
Oh.
That's over at the Vapor Memory YouTube channel, which is a big Vaporwave channel. So we could do that then. Bloodwave. I could give you a rundown of some of the people's fashion for for like the 5 people that I watched and the 2 of them that actually showed up on screen.
I don't know if we need to do a fashion rundown. I don't think we're qualified to do a fashion rundown.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm wearing a bowling shirt on top of a Grateful Dead shirt.
Anyways, I'm glad you enjoyed your Vaporwave festival of what you can. Is there like a second night to it, or is it just a one night thing?
It's just a one night thing. There's gonna be a second one, but yeah, this was just a one night like stream. So,
anyways, that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I give you good luck to the many other Minecraft festivals or Vaporwave festivals you can go to. Speaking of festivities, Pingu.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Pingus, guys? Because we have a very limited topic docket.
Okay. So, Laurel, you haven't talked for a while, so I'll let you go first.
I have no opinion. I'm sorry.
You don't have a Pingu opinion?
Do not.
Like, what are your opinion on penguins in general?
I love penguins.
I do too.
Sorry.
Like, I think I said the last episode, I used to talk with a friend constantly in 2nd grade on the phone about, like, going to Antarctica and, like, bringing penguins back.
Yeah, did you talk about that last episode?
Yeah, last episode for, like, 2 seconds. Yeah.
Dude, when I was in South Africa, I saw penguins.
Did you get, like,
really
up close? In Germany, I got to see one in, like, a tiny area. Well, kind of tiny. Like, I won't even say it's tiny. It's just more like more up front. I guess they're not crammed in a corner or something like that.
I watched 2 penguins having sex at the zoo.
Yeah, and he took a picture of it in front of kids. It was great. It definitely did not make you look like a perv.
That's disgusting.
I have the picture. Do you want me to show it to you again?
No.
Go ahead. Do it.
It will be the thumbnail of this podcast.
No, it won't.
What?
Dude, I'm not doing artwork for the thumbnails anymore.
Oh, yeah. No, you aren't. Are you?
No.
Boring. Anyway, I remember Pingu.
Like, where were you when Pingu broke? The year.
When Pingu broke?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever... Did Pingu break?
I don't know.
Oh, you're doing a bit.
Yeah, I'm doing a bit.
I'm stupid.
You're doing
here,
great, babe.
Let me do that again. Yeah, I was
Okay.
Oh,
where were you when Pingu broke?
Yeah, I remember that day. I was at the store. I was buying some bread.
Mm-hmm. Only bread?
No, just regular bread.
Like that's only bread. That's it. That's the only thing you're getting. Not even like a
only bread. Only bread.
Like how many? Like what type of bread?
1 loaf of rye wheat bread.
Rye wheat bread.
Yeah.
How many slices? Or is it not cut? Is it not sliced?
No, it was sliced. I think it's 13 per loaf, but I'm not
13?
too sure about that.
Where exactly did you go?
Like I was talking about this like 9/11 or some shit like that.
What were the geographic coordinates of your location? Please tell them to me in XY coordinates specifically.
Which store do you go to in which town?
I can't tell you the town because obviously, but
dude, you just had to make up a fucking town.
I went to the Piggly Wiggly out in the dunes of.
Man, what a great town.
Yep. And I heard and I got a text and it said Pingu broke. Like, oh well, that's it. End of legacy.
I was thinking like more when I was saying broke, like the year like Pingu like broke the mainstream, not like the year like Pingu like.
Really broke. I thought like his consciousness broke or something.
This bit fell apart, anyways.
Did, but that's okay. You tried your best.
We tried.
I tried.
Anyway, the only thing I really remember from Pingu was that really terrifying walrus.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I didn't
one
know
that
it was
has
spooky.
like.
I do remember.
Yeah, it was like it had human teeth.
I do remember the dad used to spank Pingu a bit.
When
he was being
I
a
remember
naughty
that
boy.
too. That was weird.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Yeah, when he's been a naughty Pingu. When he
naughty boy.
When he up. Anyways, that's our Pingu segment of the show. Laurel, do you have any fun, interesting topics to bring up? Like, what are your hot takes of the day?
Hot takes of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't get image of Sam slurping up his own phlegm out of my head. That's what I have to say. It's ingrained in my brain and it's never coming out, Zach.
Please, can you please share with the class?
No, how about you share, Sam?
Yeah, please. Be the one to share.
We don't want to muddy the waters of what happened.
God. Okay, so I, was driving Laurel somewhere.
You're heading back from your mom's office.
Oh, yeah, because there was that time where the scanner wouldn't work because the scanners are dumb.
Precisely.
So I was going home, and I was like, oh, gee whiz, there's a lot of phlegm in the back of my throat. And so I was like, oh, huh? As you do, yeah. And so I went and in a big ball of yellowy greenish phlegm came out of my throat and straight into my hand. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. You know how when you mix when you scramble eggs, but you haven't cooked them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked exactly like that.
But it was green. It was green.
It was yellow.
It was greenish yellow.
Lemon ham.
Yeah. So I went and it came up and Laurel, I was like, Laurel, can you get like a piece of like a napkin or something? But there were no napkins, but there was a receipt. I have the receipt right now where I threw the receipt outside, but so we kept driving and she tried handing me the receipt, but of course I have one handful of phlegm and my other hand full of steering wheel, right? Yeah. So I was like, I can't do that, and so I came up with a innovative solution. Very innovative.
Literally,
shh. My story.
Literally, like making me gag.
Shut up.
It's making me gag. Think about it. I'm not joking you.
It's my story time. So I me being the Silicon Valley level, I just slurped up the phlegm and then spit it into the receipt, which I don't know why everyone has a problem with that. That's innovative as shit.
You know what's awesome is that I'm putting this up.
Yeah, good.
And everyone gets to fucking know you did that.
Yeah, good. Then they'll be like, "Oh, Sam, that was such a good idea."
No, it's just
everyone's just gonna like lose respect for you, basically.
I don't lose respect for them.
Okay, so Sam Booger Eater Vanderwheel, thank you for your story.
Don't call me that.
Hey, do you want to be called, which you are in the Discord chat, God, my nipple hurts. Do you want to be called that still?
I don't know why. I said that once, and now it's, like, stuck to me as,
you either
like,
get to be
identity.
called Joe Biden, God, my nipple
Joe
hurts, or Sam Booger Eater Vanderwheel.
What was the other one? It was, like, Elon Musk stan?
Yeah, #1 Elon Musk stan.
I hate all of those. Why can't I be named like cool guy who has lots of sex?
You want to be called cool guy who has lots of sex?
Yeah.
No.
Call me that.
No.
Do it.
No. No one's gonna call you that.
I want to be called the cool guy who has sex.
I don't think anyone will after what the fuck you did with your mouth and boogers.
I don't want to talk about
cool guys who has lots of sex. Don't eat boogies.
I didn't eat it. I just spit it out again.
Oh god, it was so nasty, Zach.
Anyways, speaking of nasty things, a couple days ago, I watched a documentary. We're not going to talk about it that much because I want to save it for a later episode. It's known as TFW No GF, or the feeling win no GF, or the feeling win no girlfriend, or TFW no girlfriend. I guess you could like just flip that around several times. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is that it's an incel documentary, and it handles the subject matter pretty badly for like everybody involved. That's my review. I give it a 2. Not 2. Hold on. A 116 out of 216 hex colors that are web safe. I'm hoping that we could form a panel of discussion about this movie where we talk about it in depth. And on a later episode, it'll be kind of neat.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah, a panel of 10.
Yeah, let's get 10 people to watch this incel movie.
I already know 2 people who watched it with me, so like.
Okay, well we got 3.
Yeah, like 2 people watched it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that I watched it with, half of it with. I kind of dropped out halfway through because I already seen it. So yeah.
All right.
We get to watch pathetic, sad people.
Yay! That's my favorite.
Yeah, who like tweet. There's this one funny part in the movie where there's one guy who's in a bookstore, right? And he grabbed this one book out, and there was this old philosopher. He used to write down all of his thoughts and reviews for things in one sentence, right? And he's like, this man was the first person to perfect the art of tweeting before Twitter was even invented. And he's like acting like it's like a fucking History Channel thing or some shit like that.
Oh my god, yeah?
Yeah.
That's, so wait, a philosopher would...
Back in the 19th century, there's a philosopher who will just do one sentence reviews. Or like put his thoughts down in one sentence and just like release that to a newspaper or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'd read that.
Yeah, he's the founding father of the tweet. Oh, well, you know, fuck it. Okay. End of Spill Shack episode 2. Thanks for listening. Sam will have a video out soonish, probably about fucking birds or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Big Bird cameo appearance. I promise that. So if he doesn't deliver on the Big Bird cameo, well, that's his fault. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Like 30 seconds, Zach. I made the script in an hour.
All right, Laurel, do you have anything to plug? Like, do you have like a PayPal or some shit?
Yeah, give me money.
All right, cool. Link will be in the description. Sam, do you have anything to plug?
If you want to see my soapbox rants, I will be standing on a wooden box that used to hold soap in it on the corner of Houston and Maine.
But Sam, the pandemic, you can't go outside.
Oh, I do what I want. And
a libertarian.
And I'll be there reciting scriptures from the Holy Communist Manifesto. All right, talk to you later. I gotta skateboard out of here.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Where's my skateboard? Hold on.
No, we're not waiting. Okay, fuck it.
I'm getting my skateboard.
We're adding an extra 2 minutes to this just for you to get your fucking skateboard. Oh, he just fucking dies. That would kind of suck.
That would be very sad.
The last thing we'll know him for is dying on a skateboard in flame.
That would be sad.
Yeah. It just sounds like he's like hiding a body.
Yeah, okay. It's in the garage.
I give up. I just fucking give up. I apologize to anyone who's listening to this still.